Hi there, welcome to this tutorial on the assessment task. In today's tutorial we're going to take a further look at pivot tables, and there'll be one more on pivot tables and pivot charts, and then we're going to go on to some Python work looking at large data sets with Python. Okay, we're going to start by creating a new workbook. Just click the plus button. Sheet 2 is not a very good name, so I'm going to rename it Pivot 2. And then what we're going to do is insert a pivot table, and the table range is koala base 2017 and the exclamation mark to indicate that it is another sheet in our spreadsheet. The range inside of brackets A1 to AK39907, close brackets, and that should work. And as you can see, the pivot table fields come up. The data that we're going to look at this time, based on our workbook, is koalas attacked by dogs by postcode. Two pieces of information that I want to have: koala postcode and caused by dogs. Now, as you can see, when it starts off, the pivot table tries to guess what sorts of data we want. So it's summed the postcodes. Now, summing the postcodes together doesn't really mean terribly much to us at all. So I'm going to get rid of that by removing the field. So we need to change around our filters and our columns and rows and values. So I'm going to put as a value not the sum of koala postcode, but I'm going to put caused by dogs. So you can see that I just dragged that down. Now I'm going to get rid of the sum of koalas. Notice it removes from here too, so I just tick the box and it'll appear again there. And I just sum of koala postcodes I want to get rid of there. So dragging it up works better than saying remove the field, because it removes it from what you're looking at as well. The row caused by dogs, sure. Notice that there's 37,000 that are false and 2,559 that are true. So I want to have a filter which is going to be caused by dog here, and I want my filter to just be the ones that are true. So okay, you can see that it's giving me the smaller number. So only 2,559 injuries were caused by dogs. So here's all of the dog attacks on koalas by suburb. Now, that's a lot of data to take in, as you can see, but I can do a couple of things with this. If I click on Pivot Table Analyze, I can choose a pivot chart. Clustered column looks alright. Now this gives me the suburb. It's not really what we're after, so I'm going to get rid of all of that, and instead of suburb I want it to be postcode, and the postcode is going to be in the x-axis. So my filter caused by dog has to be true. My axis is going to be the x-axis, I think, is going to be the koala postcode. The values is going to be count of caused by dog, so how many, that's what we're graphing, how many dog attacks were in each suburb. And what I want to do is I want to make it so that all of the very insignificant suburbs, so those without very many dog attacks, disappear off my graph. So I'm going to click here on koala postcode within my graph, and I go to value filters, and I'm going to have greater than count of caused by dog is greater than let's say 60, and let's see what that looks like. But the others show the suburbs that significantly have lots of dog attacks, and as you can see, a lot of them are fairly close together. So 4500, 4501, 4502, 4503, 5 and 6. So you'd imagine that those suburbs would be fairly close to each other as 4164, 4165 and so on. So now I can see the main postcode areas where dog attacks occur. I could go into my pivot chart analyze again, and what I can also do is I can change the chart type. Not all charts sort of work well. A pie chart, if we look at that, it makes the data harder to interpret, so I don't like that particular chart. If I right click, I can change the chart type again. This time I'm going to choose a radar data type. Okay, let's see what that looks like. If I expand this out a bit, you can see that it's showing the count in concentric circles, and it's showing the suburbs that are mainly where the dog attacks happen. So that's sort of a useful chart. If I right click again and change the chart type, there's a whole bunch that won't work for this, and it says you can't create this type of chart. We could change it to a bar chart, similar to a column chart but just on its side. What I can also do is edit the chart text so that it makes more sense. So it's going to be total dog attacks on koalas by postcode, which makes a lot more sense. Okay, I could probably also add in data labels so that I have the exact numbers. Anyway, you should go and experiment with different types of charts, and you could also experiment with different data being graphed instead of the caused by dog and the postcode. Okay, thanks for watching. Talk to you in the next tutorial.